So the Yankees are the best team in baseball, right? And it's kind of hard to deny at this point. They're finding all different types of ways to beat teams, and good and bad. So they're approaching a rough stretch now over the next couple of weeks, but I'm confident they're going to do well. But at some point, teams that are competing in the division, the Jays, the Rays, and some other, and even other teams around the American League, are going to fortify themselves at the trade deadline, right? So, and we've talked about Yankees trade deadline speculation, who we'd like to see, and blah blah blah. And even myself, I want them to fortify at the trade deadline as well. But not to be ignored, there are a couple of guys in their system, in their farm system, in their Double-A Somerset Patriots team that have now forced their way onto the attention span of Matt Blake and Dylan Lawson. So I want to go over these two guys today because I'm not sure how many people have heard of either one of these guys, because there's so much talk about Volpe, Oswaldo Cabrera, Oswald Peraza, Jason Dominguez, and Ken Waldachuk, and with the exception of Waldachuk, maybe, who's probably the closest Major League ready piece in their farm, no one else is ready for the Major Leagues yet. Just a fact, right? So, but these guys have been kind of working their way through the system and have gained the attention of the two most prominent coaches in the Yankees organization as a possible second half call up. Yeah, even sometimes from Double-A, they can get a call up if they need it. So one is a pitcher, one is an outfielder. I want to go over both of them, and so there are guys here that, just in case the Yankees don't want to, or Cashman doesn't want to make big trades at the Major League level and assume a bunch of payroll. Because of the guys that they might be bringing in, whether it's Ian Happ or Brian Reynolds or Andrew Benintendi to a lesser degree, or the relievers, controllable years, or whether they don't want to give up big prospects for some of these guys. There are a few guys in the system that represent options for the Yankees. So I want to go over them. Before I do, it's your first time here, welcome. If you're a Yankee fan, it's a great place for you, so please subscribe to the channel. And if you do, hit the like and the bell icon too, so you don't miss things. So, and I do lineups, breaking news, everything else, and recaps and the whole works. So, but with that, let's get to these guys. Number one is Elijah Dunham. Okay, this guy was a 2020 draft pick. He's 24 years old now, and he's been a reliably performing outfielder. And again, with the issue with Miguel Andujar, is now asked to be traded, and I'm guessing now is in the doghouse probably with the Yankees and Cashman. I don't really see him coming up, and if he does, I don't see him being that motivated to produce. So, or Estevan Florial, who shows he can demolish people in AAA, but that doesn't really help at the Major League level. So they don't really have many other guys in the farm that are working their way up reliably through the system that present viable options, right, in the infield or anywhere in the team for the most part. At least yet. Well, Dunham's one of them. He's a left-handed hitting power hitter, and now he slashed his way. Now he started with a slow start. He's now a 252 batting average, 320 on-base percentage, and 472 slugging. He's got a bunch of home runs. He also demolished the Arizona Fall League too. I think he's at 7 or 8 home runs now, maybe even higher now. But he's proving to be a reliable left-handed hitting outfield option. That's one of the things that they're looking for, right? When the Yankees tend to be successful when they have good left-handed hitting. So, and like they're doing right now, Matt Carpenter and some of these other guys. So, Anthony Rizzo. And this kid could be a reliable outfielder. And again, it doesn't seem like Andujar is going to be a fit anymore. It doesn't seem like Estevan Florial is going to be a fit anymore. I'm not exactly sure what they're going to do with Tim LaCastro, because he can't really hit that well, or Ender Inciarte, who's been here forever now. So, what do they have aside from trading from another Major League player? Elijah Dunham has stood out now, and he's captured the attention of Dylan Lawson. So, and that's a good thing. So, being a disciple with the system, and again, he was drafted in 2020 in the high rounds, and he's now crawled his way into the top 10 prospects for the Yankees. So, that's another attention-seeking performance metric. So, just keep in mind, okay, Elijah Dunham is one of them. Number two, I'm going to move over to pitching now, and I apologize to him if you ever see this and I butcher your last name. My greatest apologies. Josh Masajewski, I don't exactly know, but it's something like that. But I do apologize too if I butcher it. But he was a 10th round pick in 2018 as a right-handed pitcher. But what stands out about him is he was groomed and came up as a starting pitcher, but he's been slowly pivoting towards a long relief, and he started dominating now. And now he's kind of moving into that direction. He's becoming a hell of a lot more dominant. He's 4-1 this year with a 3.33 ERA, and that's in the midst of converting from a starter to a long relief guy. And this is a guy that I would consider like a once around the lineup type of guy. You get somebody like this who might be able to go 2-3 innings, and again, they have Manny Benuelos, they have Clark Schmidt, they've been performing incredibly. They've got Michael King too. So this kid performs, provides him another young option. He's 26 years old with endless years available on his contract left for team control. Neither one of these guys are on the 40-man roster right now either. So obviously a corresponding move would have to be made should they get called up. But it's the same thing when you trade for players like Andrew Benintendi or whatever. You got to either move major league players off the 40-man or minor league players off their 40-man. So one way or another, it happens. So the same thing would have to happen here too. But you get hard throwing innings out of him. He's got a really good fastball and a nasty slider. So he's a perfect fit for a long relief guy here. And I think he's another one that's probably a really good candidate. And he's caught the attention of Matt Blake, and Matt Blake let it be known. Once that happens, you know that you're probably in the line to be moved up at some point too. And he's already gotten a cup of coffee in AAA as well. And he came back down because of depth purposes or whatnot. But I would look out for this guy too. And the fact that he's taken notice, Matt Blake, is a really, really, really good sign. So he's got 41 strikeouts in 29 innings pitched too. And over his minor league career, he's averaged more than a strikeout an inning. He averages closer to 10 to 11 strikeouts innings every 9 innings. So another potential power arm here that could fortify the bullpen. And again, if they don't want to give up what it's going to take to get a David Bednar or a Scott Barlow or even a David Robertson to a lesser degree, they have somebody in-house that they might be able to move up, just like Elijah Dunham, right? They don't want to fork over what it's going to cost to get an Andrew Benintendi or an Ian Happ or Cole Calhoun or at a higher level, Brian Reynolds. They have somebody here who could be a viable option. We just don't know yet what the appetite is for and what Cashman's marching orders are going to be and how much financial flexibility he's going to have. Obviously, he's going to try to minimize the cost and maximize the output. That's what he does all the time, and maximize the return. So he'll try to offset contracts when he can. But I wanted to mention these two guys as options that both from the Somerset Patriots, so they play with Anthony Volpe and some of these other guys. So that are looking really, really, really good now, that are not being really talked about at all as part of the Yankees' top prospects. So keep them in mind. If anything else pops out, obviously, especially breaking news, you're going to get it here. Other than that, I will see you tomorrow for the lineups and the recaps. Over now.